0, 1. Don't try to guess which anime the campus background is from. You won't be able to guess it. Ha ha ha. The rapid breathing was far less loud than the struggling heartbeat in the chest. Escape? You have to escape quickly. Otherwise... Aha! The cold object suddenly wrapped around his left ankle, and his unbalanced body fell forward, hitting the rough cement road hard. The cold touch that penetrated into the pores circled up from the ankle to the calf, tightening inch by inch, and there was a squeezing pain. Despite this, he still tried his best to support his upper body with both hands, kicked his right foot in the direction of his left foot, and moved his body desperately, trying to retreat. Rather than the feeling of being kicked, it was more of a bad nausea feeling, instinctively rejecting something. Help, help! He was so scared that he wanted to ask for help, but he didn't have the strength to shout. The extreme fear caused his vocal cords to lose the ability to make sounds, and he became hoarse. The intensified nausea made the abdomen tighten like convulsions, and sour liquid surged up into the throat, causing a burning pain. The object that was getting tighter was suddenly pulled back, and the whole figure seemed to have hit a hard object. His eyes turned white, and he couldn't see anything clearly. Gonadi-di. There was a tearing feeling in the soul. The moment he gave up the struggle, there was a loud noise, and the object wrapped around the thigh suddenly loosened, sliding softly down the side of the leg, and the cold touch gradually disappeared. TSK, I shouldn't be responsible for evil spirits. Who? He actually attacked humans. Which hell would it be better to go to? Being rescued? He seems to be a strange child. Okay, just pretend you haven't seen anything. The palm on his forehead was cold, but it made people feel at ease inexplicably. Then his vision went dark, and something was put on his head, blocking his already blurry vision. At this point, he lost consciousness. Buzzing. He fumbled for the phone that was still vibrating, squinted to see the patterns on the screen, and turned off the alarm clock with a swipe of his fingertips. Just as I was about to put down my phone and go back to sleep, I noticed the number displayed on the screen of my phone, 7:20. The alarm clock rang at 6:50 every 10 minutes, and I actually didn't wake up until the 4th time it rang. This was not the time to say this at all, okay? I threw off the quilt and jumped out of bed, hurriedly grabbing the clothes on the hanger and changing. It was all because of that dream that I overslept. I haven't had that dream for several years. Why did it suddenly appear again? I got dressed and rushed to the bathroom downstairs, brushed my teeth, and washed my face as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, when I came to the living room, only Tachibana-san was left packing. Seeing me, she shook her head. Xiao Seng, the young masters already had breakfast and left. Do I still have breakfast? I stared at Sister Tachibana longingly. The young master said it was your fault for oversleeping, Xiao Seng. As punishment, there is no breakfast. Sister Tachibana sighed. Obviously, yesterday you promised to get up early and get everything ready. If I hadn't gotten up early today, even the young master would have been dragged down by you. I'm sorry. He bowed his head and apologized. Is the young master angry? Well, the young master is still the same as always. He shouldn't be angry. You'd better go to school quickly, otherwise you'll be late. Sister Tachibana passed me with a cutlery and stuffed a piece of package, putting into my hand. Don't tell anyone else about the leftovers from last night. Tachibana-san is the best. I hugged Tachibana-san and kissed her on the cheek. I quickly turned around, picked up my school bag, and ran toward school. What I have to say is that I am indeed wrong. After all, today is the first day of high school. I always feel that on a day like today, having a dream full of bad memories in the morning is not a good sign, no matter how you think about it. I rubbed my forehead and decided not to think about it. No wonder this high school is called Sakura High School. There are indeed many cherry blossoms. The young master's name is listed first on the bulletin board. It's easy to find. Of course he is from Class A. As for me, Shao Sakuraji, we are in the same class again. There was a heavy weight on my back, and my neck was stuck immediately. Fortunately, the moment I heard the sound, I blocked my arm by my face, leaving a gap so that I was not stuck and couldn't breathe. Kashima, I am almost suffocated. Ah, I'm sorry, I said and quickly let go of my hand, and then I regained my breath. I was quite speechless as I looked at the handsome man in front of me from top to bottom. I made sure that he was wearing a skirt that is only for girls' school uniforms. I finally breathed a sigh of relief and said, Kashima, long time no see. But even so, there were still many girls looking over with blushing faces. We haven't seen each other since we graduated from junior high school, but I'm not worried at all. As expected, you and I are still in the same school and in the same class, Kashima said and looked around. Speaking of which, wouldn't there be a club to attract people to the entrance ceremony? Are you looking for the senior horror you like? I was attracted by the seniors' acting skills and applied to this school. It really seemed like a plot in a shoujo manga. I continued to look for my name, Class G. It's the last class in the first grade. It's far away from Class A. Oh, I found Hori-senpai. Goodbye, Sakuraji. After saying that, Kashima ran away again, still moving as quickly as before. Sometimes I really envy Kashima. I just do whatever I want to do. I was able to get into this school because I was very lucky during the exam. I got all the multiple choice questions correct, whether single choice or multiple choice. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to get in. Thinking like this, I lowered my head and sighed helplessly. Well, just be a good student. Be careful. There was a sudden shout from behind, and then I felt something pass over my head, hit the bulletin board hard, and then bounce towards me. So that dream in the morning was a bad omen? I closed my eyes tightly. There was no time to hide. I didn't know how painful it would be. Being sent to the health room on the first day of school would definitely be a shame. Doesn't hurt? When I opened my eyes again, I saw a hand in front of me, firmly blocking the basketball. The tall boy next to me withdrew his hand. Just when I was about to say thank you gratefully, I saw the boy throwing the basketball back to the women's basketball team with a ferocious face. Then he held his own hand and ran away, shouting, my fingers are going to be hurt. Why should my fingers catch the ball if my heart hurts? Flip the table. How about a grown man making such a cowardly statement? What a waste of my girlish heart. Can you please give me some development of a normal shoujo manga? But it's a good thing that I wasn't injured. It's really impossible for anything bad to happen to me. If anything, you're actually used to this kind of thing, right? I followed other classmates to the playground and participated in the opening ceremony held at the beginning of every high school. Listening to the principal's long-winded nonsense, I quietly took out pudding from my pocket and started filling my stomach. Well, my luck level is very high, so a little bit of bad luck can't hurt me. What is the value of luck? To put it simply, it is a multiple choice question on the paper. There are 4 options A, B, C, D. If you choose one at random, it will be the correct answer. This is the lucky value. Of course, there are techniques such as 3 long and 1 short, choose short, but they're not called lucky points. They can only be said to be experience. The probability of choosing the correct answer to a single choice question is 1/4. 2 consecutive multiple choice questions is 1/16, and continued accumulation is 1/4 to the nth power. Anyway, the more questions there are, the smaller the probability of selection, which means the higher the luck value. My luck, which is getting better and better recently, gives me the illusion that I am extraordinarily lucky. I quickly finished the pudding and put the garbage in my pocket. It was just in time for the young master to speak as a representative of the new students. I heard the girl's low voice. I couldn't help it. The young master is good looking. Of course, I have been used to it since I was a child. In school, is it better to keep a distance from the young master? After all, I'm just a maid, so I can't be called my childhood sweetheart. In the words of the guys in the league, I wasted my character. The young master gave me a mobile phone as a birthday gift last year, so I became obsessed with surfing the internet on my mobile phone, browsing forums and chatting. I don't know if my luck came into play, but I found a very magical forum, Travelers Alliance. When answering the verification question, I was lucky enough to spell the 14 Chinese characters in the correct order within 3 opportunities, so I successfully became a member of the forum. But I still don't know how to pronounce those 14 Chinese characters, nor do I know what those 2 sentences mean. Chinese characters are really broad and profound, and my Mandarin has never scored more than 90 points, so it's better not to rack my brains. Diving into new forums is a necessary skill. The problem is that I've been diving for a month and still don't understand what other people in the forum are talking about. Things like, I just saw Ada on the street and it was so dark that I couldn't find him at night. And I went to Kami Salma's website today and looked around and it was indeed worthy of its reputation. Or, why am I the teacher of a Shinigami elementary school student? Etc. Etc. are completely incomprehensible. If you don't understand, just ask. That's what the young master has always told me. So I posted a newbie post. Where is this place and why can't I understand it? Someone quickly responded, but what's the password? I don't understand what you're talking about at all. Later, a technology emperor said, there is actually an indigenous girl sneaking in. Who is the indigenous girl? I am a modern person. Modern urbanites. Before I could reply, I was kicked out of the forum by the moderator. Haha, my advantage is my tenacity. After registering 3 times in a row and then being kicked out, the 4th time the moderator finally sent me a private message based on the email address I filled in when registering. How on earth did you fill in my mobile phone number as the answer? Where did the plugin come from? Plugin? What is that? I saw that the question was to fill in a string of numbers and type them in casually. After I replied, the moderator was silent for a long time, then put me in and began to patiently explain the forum to me. It turns out that the world I live in is a 2-dimensional world, and the people in this forum have all traveled through time from the real world, so they know many characters and developments in the world. Moreover, this forum also miraculously integrates many travelers from different 2-dimensional worlds. So I happily moved out of the various characters in my own world and listened obediently to other people's gossip. Anyway, I have nothing to do with those big people. For me, this world is a 3-dimensional world. Since I am an indigenous, I can live peacefully according to the indigenous way. In their words, as a maid in a big family, the young master and I grew up together. Although they are bloody and cliched, but since there is a cheat like Lucky A, it stands to reason that we should develop into a couple smoothly. How many girls' comics or romance books have they read? I almost want to complain about them. What's more, this kind of thing can only happen in the 2 dimensions, right? I silently glanced at the young master on the stage. Even I felt that the young master and I were completely incompatible. If I hadn't been afraid that the young master would confiscate his phone if he found out, I would have asked people in the Alliance for his real name. Maybe he is the male protagonist in some anime, and there will naturally be a female protagonist to match him. By the way, why did I start to feel stomachache after eating the pudding? 002, don't try to guess the identity of that kid. You can't guess it. I'm so thankful that this high school's uniforms are 2-piece. After greeting the teacher, I neatly took off my coat and tied it around my waist, and then followed the teacher's instructions smoothly to the health room on the 4th floor of the teaching building. Judging from the appearance alone, there was absolutely no problem. If there is nothing wrong, I don't need to go to the health room, okay? It's too bad to avoid injury, but still have to go to the health room because of my aunt. What's worse is that I have dysmenorrhea and I can't manage it well no matter what. Why on earth is this month advanced by 3 days? While thinking about this, I walked into the health room. The teacher is not here, so he probably went to attend the opening ceremony, right? I quickly found a sanitary napkin from the drawer, went to the toilet and put it on, then lay down on the bed, pulled the curtain, and covered it with a thin quilt to rest. If anything, my menstrual cramps get better quickly, as long as I get a good night's sleep. But before I closed my eyes for a few seconds, I heard a loud noise, like, well, the sound of something heavy breaking open the door of the health room I had just closed, and then falling to the ground. Well, I heard a whimper. It should be someone. Haha. A hoarse male voice sounded. It was different from the whimpering female voice. It seemed like there were 2 people. Wait! I heard the door slamming again and it was locked? Isn't this the rhythm of what we are going to do? I'm still in there. Teacher, long time no see. Wow, it's still a teacher-student relationship. You didn't expect that I would appear in front of you again, did you? Why do you think the meaning of these words is a bit strange? Teacher, why are you crying? But I am also so happy that I want to cry, thinking that as long as I flip this switch, I can see a grand carnival. I am almost shaking with excitement. The guys in this school actually dared to treat me like that. Only you, teacher, would comfort me gently. From that time on, I have fallen deeply in love with the teacher. Although I can understand this kind of love, but what is that carnival? But why did the teacher reject me after I confessed my love to him? And you told me that you like all the students? So, as long as they are all dead, right? If only me and the teacher are left, the teacher will only like me, right? Huh, did I hear some crazy declaration? It turns out that this kind of thing really happens in real life. It's simply worse than what those guys in the league said about Tsuma. Wait, maybe Tsuma is higher in terms of the degree of blackness? This is not the time to think about these things at all. Why is this guy so crazy and wants other people to die? Does toggle the switch mean a time bomb? Now the whole school is holding the opening ceremony on the playground, and bombs are buried in the playground? The young master is still here. No, Sakuragi-san, listen, you have to calm down now. Since you can say, flip the switch, it means it is a remote-controlled bomb. Just grab the controller. Calm down. I'm just an ordinary person. Okay, now it feels like my next move is related to thousands of lives. I'm so nervous that I want to faint. At least I won't die if I hide here, right? But this kind of thinking is too selfish. My words are the only thing left. It's too shameful. I tightened my grip on the sheets and then carefully opened a crack in the curtain. The man seemed to be still chattering to the teacher. Judging from his words, he seemed to be in a frenzy and would not have noticed what was happening on my side. If my luck is so good, just don't let him notice me. To my surprise, I thought the owner of the male voice must have graduated from high school at least. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said, "Long time no see." In fact, he looked like a boy about the same age as me. He sat half kneeling on the ground, leaning close to the female teacher's ear, and kept saying something. The teacher was curled up on the ground with his head in his hands, as if shaking his head desperately, not wanting to listen to him. The remote control is actually in your hand. What to do if you press it accidentally? After making sure I wasn't discovered, I carefully lay down on the ground and crawled out from the bottom of the curtain. They were in front of the window, and I was on the side, almost with their backs to me. They had to find something. Rather than knocking him unconscious, I thought it would be more appropriate to break his hand and take the remote control and run away. Holding my breath, I moved to the door and touched the broom hanging at the door. I grasped the handle with both hands and moved towards the boy. I took off my shoes when I lay on the bed, but naturally, I didn't put them on now. The temperature of the ground transmitted through my socks was cold, but the sound was also reduced to a minimum. Get closer, raise your hand, lift the wooden handle up, and then aim at his arm and smash it down hard. Ouch! A sound that sounded like the roar of a beast came from the boy's throat. My head went blank, and I stared at the remote control that fell out of his palm. Then I rushed over and grabbed it in my hand. A remote control that is not a button type is so good. Otherwise, with my tight grip, I would definitely press the button accidentally. I jumped so hard that my back hit the wall. I gritted my teeth to hold back the pain. Before the boy could recover from the pain, I stumbled up from the ground and ran towards the door of the health room. As long as I ran out, the calf of my right leg hurt. I bent my knee and hit the ground. The pain made me almost scream. I should have thrown away the broom after hitting him just now. Throw it as far as possible. Clutching the remote control in my hand, I reluctantly stood up on my left leg. Before I could stand upright, another black shadow hit my head. I subconsciously stretched out my arm to block it. It hurt like hell. No kidding. What if my right hand becomes useless? Using my right knee as a support, I twisted my body hard, swept my left leg across the boy's waist, and kicked him out. I got up again, opened the door of the health room, and ran out. At the same time, I stuffed the remote control into my pocket, took out my cell phone, and dialed the police call with a flurry of fingers. Hey, This is Inghua High School. Please come quickly. Someone is planning an explosion. Before I could finish my words, I saw a brown-haired, blue-eyed child in front of me, standing at the top of the stairs and looking around, as if he was looking for something. I went down the stairs so fast that I narrowly avoided him and fell to the ground. Get out of here quickly. Sister, are you injured? This kid asked me desperately. This is not the time to explain. I heard the sound of running on the stairs, and I tried my best to stand up, but this time I fell too hard and had no strength at all. I gritted my teeth, took out the remote control, and put it into his hand. Take this and run. Don't flip the switch. Run. As I said this, I wanted to push him away, but I was held face to face with his eyes, which were quite beautiful blue, as deep as emerald. Close your eyes. Don't think about anything. I will count to 3, and you will fall into sleep. Wait until I snap my fingers, and you wake up. 1, 2, 3. My eyes fell into darkness. There was a soft pop sound, and I immediately opened my eyes. Then I felt a severe pain all over my body. I couldn't hold back the soreness of the tip of my nose, and tears began to fill my eyes. The next second I heard plain words beside me. Are you awake? I quickly held back my tears. Yes, master. I had to sort out my chaotic memories. I went to the health room, met the bomb maniac, snatched the remote control, met a child, and then was hypnotized. Where was that finger snap just now? I quickly turned around and looked around. This is my room. Where is the child? Or is it really possible to be exposed to hypnosis by just snapping your fingers from a distance? What are you reading? The young master put the book in his hand, which I couldn't even name, on the bedside table, and looked at me calmly with his fingers crossed. I quickly shook my head. No, I just wanted to see where I was. No one would believe me being hypnotized by a child, right? Such a big mess happened on the first day of school, and you are still so capable of causing trouble. I don't want to cause trouble at all, okay? And was it my fault this time? If anything, I saved you, young master. Even though I was thinking this, I still kept my head down and was being scolded. The young master must not interrupt when he is talking. I have not forgotten the painful experience of being locked in a small dark room for a whole day after being scolded by the young master for talking back unconvincingly. I still remember it so well that I never dare to talk back in my life. But I still want to say thank you this time. The young master slowed down his tone. I raised my head in surprise, looked at him with wide eyes, and almost shouted, "Thank you." The young master actually said thank you to me. Hearing this sentence makes me feel that the pain on my body is worth it. After thinking about it, I asked cautiously, "Well, master, has that bomb maniac been caught?" "Well, the police came quickly after you called the police, and then caught him and locked him up. They will give you appropriate compensation in a few days." After saying that, the young master stood up and put his hand on the top of my head. "Thank you for your hard work." "Young master, just hope you are fine." I smiled contentedly. If something happens to the young master, the orphanage. The young master took back his hand and interrupted me. "Have a good rest. You have to go to school tomorrow. Kashima is in the living room and will come to see you later." Okay. I nodded, watched the young master leave, and then looked down at the bandages and plaster wrapped around my body. Sure enough, it still hurt. Although I gotta thank you, why can't I care about does it hurt? Well, pushing too far will not end well, so just be content. When Kashima came in, his expression was very bad, but after seeing my condition, he immediately started crying. If he hadn't seen that my right arm was still tied with a plaster, he would have pounced on me. "Sakura-chan, you ended up like this to protect everyone." "It's nothing, actually. It just looks scary. Except for a little pain in my body, everything else is fine." I waved my hand, pretending that nothing happened, to prove to her that I was healthy. I always feel embarrassed when I see others worrying about me. It spread all over the school. "You were beaten many times to avoid bomb explosions. That guy said during the interrogation that I was not by your side to protect you. It was so useless. Kashima said, holding my hand tightly and promising, "I will definitely protect Sakuraji next time, and I will never let the princess get hurt." Looking at your prince-like face and hearing such words, I feel really flattered. I complained. Kashima has always been liked by girls and called the campus prince because he has too many excellent qualities of boys. He doesn't have the self-consciousness of a girl. If it weren't for being good friends in junior high school, I would probably have fallen under her pomegranate pants. Wait, you just said that it has spread throughout the school? I turned my head and glanced at the sky outside the window. It's only noon now, right? Even the school knew about the interrogation content in a few hours. Is the gossip channel of high school students so efficient? How many hours? Kashima stretched out his index finger and pressed it on my forehead. Today is the 3rd day of school. You've been unconscious for 2 whole days. She gritted her teeth again, and her face became almost the same as when she came in. Every time I come to your place, I see that young master of yours. As expected, I still feel unhappy with him, so I'd better go and beat him up. She rolled up her sleeves and planned to rush out. I quickly hugged her waist with my good left hand, trying my best to stop her while wailing in my heart. 2 days. That kid's hypnotic spell lasted for 2 whole days. I lost the opportunity to greet everyone properly when I first entered school. Don't let me meet that brat again. 0-0. 3 don't try to guess what the turn of events will be. You can't guess it. Topic. Help. What should I do if I become a campus hero on the first day of school? On the first day of high school, I met a bomb maniac who wanted to blow up all the students in the school. Then I snatched the bomb maniac's remote control. After 2 days of coma, I returned to school. I found that I was surrounded by enthusiastic people wherever I went. There was no sense of normal campus life at all. Please break Pachorkonia. Zer Engel _ 0 litre sans chinesse original poster. Although I feel that you have omitted a lot of content that makes me want to read it, but I will give you a suggestion first. Those who gather in groups fight and kill. 1L Secondary High School. LS you have enough. Host, please tell me what's going on. This situation is obviously leading character mode. 2L loves master the most. I was thinking about what to say, but while I was typing, my phone was a little slow. 3L sang Xian's poster. Move the bench and wait. 4 litres égal. Popcorn, cola, and melon seeds for sale in the front row. 5 litres égal. Speaking of bomb mania, I heard about it not long ago. I'll wait for the original poster first. 6L is not stupid. During the opening ceremony, the poster went to the health room because of his menstrual period, and while he was resting, he heard the sound of someone coming in. It was a man and a woman. It seemed like the kind of bloody drama where a student falls in love with a teacher and then asks for it. Then the student wanted to blow up the whole school. So the poster heroically ran to hit the student with a sap and took away the remote control. This feeling was really good at first, but after a long time I couldn't stand it. I just wanted to be an ordinary student and get along with everyone. Please ask if there is any way to resolve this situation. 7L sang Xian's poster. Hashtag heterosexuality has no good consequences. Hashtag. Hashtag Aswangzai, my big FFF group hashtag. Vidi égal. LS double eyelids are wrong, but can you please tell me more about the pair of students and teachers? 9L fried dough sticks. LS, you are not much better, but the poster, you are indeed a hero, and it is normal for you to be admired. As for the current situation, I think you can just tolerate it for a while. Most people have a limited sense of freshness about heroes. As long as you don't do anything amazing, others will gradually forget about it. If it doesn't work, just pretend to be stupid and act useless and ordinary, and your impression will change. 10L grounding gas. Oh, it's down to earth. 11 litres friettes d'oxtique. Hello, old Yo Chow. I also saw silly cuteness on it. 12L ground gas. That's why I'm not stupid if I say it. 13L is not stupid. Looking at the post that was about to turn into a family recognition meeting, I silently pressed the lock screen button on my phone, stuffed the phone back into my pocket, and picked up the pen again to copy the notes on the blackboard. Although my right hand is still in a plaster cast, I can use both hands without affecting my daily life. Thinking of the process of being escorted by the young master to evolve into a left-hander, I felt gloomy and shook my head decisively not to think about it. Just bear with it for a while. Then just bear with it. Anyway, I don't associate with the word hero. Sakura-chan, Kashima came over as soon as get out of class was over. How are you feeling? I've seen it. Don't worry. The doctor said my recovery speed is nothing short of a miracle. I waved my hand. Your recovery speed has indeed been very fast. Sakura-san, have you filled out your club application form? A figure appeared next to the desk. I looked up and saw the handsome boy holding a stack of club application forms in his hand and looking at me calmly. He's a handsome and athletic guy. I remember he was the entertainment committee member of the class. Mikoto Mikashiba? This surname is quite rare. I had already filled out the club application form and put it in the book. I quickly took it out and handed it to him. He took it and walked away. Oh, Kashiba. Kashima frowned. It's really impolite to interrupt someone suddenly. He is also eager to collect the application form, so there's nothing to mind. I shrugged. Speaking of which, have you successfully joined the drama club? It would be impossible not to let Kashima join. Although Kashima is always not serious, his acting skills are indeed good, and he is also handsome. Of course! Kashima immediately became excited when he mentioned the drama club. Senior Hori invited me to join on the spot. He also said that I would definitely shine in the drama club. To be praised by such an outstanding senior, Watching Kashima enter senior control mode, I calmly took out the things I would use in the next class. Well, Kashima must be very happy to be favored by his favorite senior. The drama club seems pretty good, but I still want to join the vocal club. Even if I don't know any instruments, singing is still no problem, right? I really like listening to music. Of course, I can't guarantee my singing voice. It's better to just learn it. I didn't expect that the campus hero would join the vocal club. The vocal club director looked at me in surprise. I covered my face. Sister, please stop talking about campus heroes. I didn't have such lofty ideas at the time. Okay, the minister laughed, and then patted me on the shoulder. I can probably understand your mood. You don't have to think too much in the vocal club. Just practice with everyone. It seems that the minister is still very easy to get along with. I was about to breathe a sigh of relief when someone grabbed my shoulder. Hey, are you a new member? When I turned my head, I was met with a smiling face. How should I put it? The smiling face of a girl with a wild boy feel. I suddenly wanted to find Kashima here, but I must have been thinking too much. This girl obviously looked like a girl, but she was much different from Kashima's face, which was more handsome than a boy. Seo, you are here just in time. This is a new club member named Sakuraji-san. The director introduced me. This is Seo Yuzuki, who is also a new member this year.